Hey guys, how's it going? TFM Tech here, and in today's video, I'm going to be going over the very best $1,500 RTX 3080 gaming PC you guys can build right now. Are you ready? Let's get into it. Alright, for starters, let's talk about the case. The case that we're going to be using in this build is the Lee & Lee LandCool 205. In our scenario, we're going to be using the black 205, pretty much because it's $72.99 versus like $74.99, I think it was. So it saved us a couple bucks here. I know, that might not be a huge deal to some of you. If you guys want to go with a white themed build, by all means, pick the white one. It's just going to cost you a little bit extra. So we're going to be using the black Lee & Lee LandCool 205. Let's go ahead and move on to the motherboard. So the motherboard we're going to be using in the system is the Asus TUF B550 Gaming Plus motherboard. This board seems to be very solid. A lot of people have nothing but good things to say about them. And keep in mind, this is $155 for the wired version. If you want a wireless version, I believe it was $160 or $175ish, somewhere around there. So if you're worried about, not having a wired connection available to you and you need wireless, you have that option. It just might cost you a little bit more. Also, this board is very comparable to B450. The only difference is that it is compatible with PCIe Gen 4 for your graphics card slots and everything, because the first graphics card slot on the motherboard is PCIe Gen 4 because it's linked to the actual CPU. Also, the socket used is AM4, so it'll support AMD CPUs, as well as it is compatible with AMD 5000 series CPUs, which is their next gen CPUs that actually just came out. So yeah, this board has potential and you definitely have some room to upgrade in the future. And that leads us to our CPU that we're going to be using in the system. Let's go ahead and talk about that. So the CPU we're going to be using in the system is a Ryzen 7 3700X. This is a rock solid CPU. It has 8 cores and 16 threads. It's going to cover anything from gaming to video editing to any type of multi-threaded task you could possibly think of. I actually have built a PC with this CPU in it, and it absolutely shreds video editing, which is the main reason why I built it. It is my $1,500 PC build, my first time ever building a PC, so if you guys want to check it out, it'll be linked down there in the description below and in the top right. So make sure you go check that out. This CPU is going to run you about $325, but keep an eye out for deals here and there, because when I bought mine, it was roughly $270-ish. Alright guys, so the graphics card we're going to be using in this system is the RTX 3080, and if you couldn't tell from the thumbnail, the title of the video, or the intro, God have mercy on your soul. The Founders Edition has 10 gigs of GDDR6 memory, and you can expect great gaming performance out of this graphics card. 1440p, 144 frames a second is absolutely no struggle for this graphics card whatsoever. There's some guys that are getting 4K at 110 frames a second in some game titles, so this thing's a beast. Also, this graphics card is going to run you about $700 for it, so yeah, no slouch in performance, but pretty big hole in your wallet after this one. Now let's go ahead and move on to the power supply. The power supply that we're going to be using in this system is the EVGA BR Series 700 watt 80 plus bronze power supply. This one is not fully modular, it's not even semi-modular, all the cables are coming out of the back of it, but when you're considering price to wattage, get dogs, they said. It would be fun, they said. But when considering price to wattage, this is actually a really good deal, coming right in at $74.99 for 700 watts. Because for those who don't know, for a while now it's been really hard to get a power supply that has decent wattage for a reasonable price. There's like 600 watt power supplies going for like $150, $200. Yeah, it's absolutely bonkers. I don't understand why. There's like a shortage. It's kind of weird. But with that being said, let's go ahead and move on to the RAM we're going to be using in the system. Alright, so RAM we're going to be using in the system is the G.Skill Ripjaws. Very reputable sticks. We're going to be using 2 sticks of 8 gigs each. These will be running at 3600 megahertz and have a CAS latency of 16. The reason why I chose these numbers is because AMD CPUs prefer faster RAM. They perform better with faster RAM, and that is because the dies in the Infinity Fabric run at the same speed of the RAM. So All around, you're going to get better performance when you're running faster RAM with a lower cast latency. So that's why I chose these sticks. Alright guys, with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the storage we're going to be using in the system. For the storage in the system, we're going to be breaking it up into two parts. The first part is going to be the boot drive, and the second part is going to be the game or video storage. For the boot drive, we're going to be using the Silicon Power 512GB M.2 NVMe SSD. This is PCIe Gen 3, so we're going to get super fast boot ups. This is where you will install Windows or any type of operating system that you choose, but you know, the majority of us are going to be Windows. And you can also install any type of software that you want on here. This is going to be faster than any type of SATA hard drive, or SATA NVMe SSD. So that's the reason why I chose the Silicon Power 512GB NVMe SSD. Alright, so for our game storage or video storage, we're going to be using the Western Digital Blue 2TB hard drive. And the reason why I chose this hard drive is because it has 5400 RPM and 256 megabyte cache. So that's going to be great for any type of video or game storage that you're going to need. And as much as I'd love to put a huge SSD in the system, that would probably cost, you know, a quarter of the budget that we have. So I went ahead and settled with the hard drive for our game or video storage. Alright guys, that's going to sum up the video. If you guys liked the video, a thumbs up would be much appreciated. If you guys have any comments or suggestions or any personal preferences or parts that could bring the cost down at all, or that you might think will work a little bit better in the system, go ahead and leave them in the comment section down below. I'm always open to feedback, and hey, it might help somebody out with their budget and their needs. So yeah, that'll benefit everybody there. Also, if you want to see more videos just like this one, hit that subscribe button and notification bell next to it down below so that you guys get notified when I upload. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Ciao.